Welcome back to Friends with Benefits, everyone. My name is Diego.
My name is Dylan.
My name is Jake.
Isaac.
If you want to support us, please take a second to like and subscribe. Leave a 5-star rating, whatever platform you're on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Today, we have some very, very special guests.
Oh, thank you.
Special. That's what
Yes. Jake and Dylan. Woo. So Dylan, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Shout out Davis County. Shout out Kaysville. Terrible place. And then that's about it.
Man.
That's about it.
I love it. I love it. What are your hobbies?
Music. I keep up with politics way too much to the detriment of my mental health.
I love listening
Keep
to you
up
ramble.
with
It's about that time.
Jake, what about you?
I grew up in Roy,
I like it, man.
Utah, dude.
Yeah, what are your hobbies?
I play guitar a bit too. Me and Dill jam at home. And I don't know.
You fly planes too. That's what
Yeah.
you do for work. That's
Yeah, that's work.
Everyone, tell dude, flex
A hobby
on everyone.
and a-
I'm not going to flex on everyone, dude.
I fucking
Flex,
fly planes,
man.
Hey, so
bro.
how
I
does a
fly-
plane work?
I fly,
Black magic.
I fly
don't know.
private planes. I fuck with me. That's what you should be saying right
Yeah.
now.
If you saw Top Gun Maverick, he was the pilot.
That was that
Got
guy.
this.
I survived a Mach 10 ejection.
What's that?
Oh, it's going way too fast to jump out of an airplane. A lot of people were critical of that because if you actually did that, you would be like pancake. Your limbs would all get ripped off.
Good way to go out.
You were telling us a little bit earlier today too, but you were flying somebody kind of cool.
I don't know if I'm allowed to like.
Oh, okay, yeah, no
What's
worries.
the information.
Okay,
There
no
it
worries,
is
no
a
worries.
former ex president or ex vice president though.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say.
Yeah,
who.
then don't gotta say who.
Mike,
I don't
it was
know.
Mike Pence.
A former
Just
vice
like-
president?
Oh, it. It's
Mike Pence.
George H.W. Bush's vice president. I don't even remember his name.
Was it vice
Oh, that's
president?
sick, man.
I heard he was like kind of insignificant. Let's hope
Yeah.
that was okay.
Insignificant times.
I just wanted to point that out just because I want the people to
Yeah,
know how good of a
yeah.
pilot you are, that you are getting commissioned by all these higher up elitists.
He almost flew Pete Buttigieg one time, but Buttigieg canceled on him, you know?
I did. He had
Buttigieg is
COVID.
the-
We were supposed to fly Pete Buttigieg, but
Why is the
Wild.
Department of Transportation taking, private charter
know,
jet
man.
flights?
yeah,
Take Amtrak, dog.
yeah, they all do it. They all take private jets, dude.
That's pretty interesting, though. Do you like being in the private jet industry? Do you like flying?
Yes, I like flying because at the airlines, you just show up, pick up a stack of papers, and it's like, here's your fuel load, here's your passengers, your weight and balance is already done, your flight plans are filed, and it's routes you've already done like 100 times. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's very routine going into random airports.
Do you still own a plane yourself, or did you sell?
No, I was
Did you come out on top? Did you come out on top?
You were
I came
1/5
out
of an owner, right?
No, I came out even exactly. I owned a fifth of this piece of shit,
A G5.
of this shitbox Bonanza from the 60s for about a week, and then the flight school was like, "We want to use this for complex training," and I was like,
Take it.
"Yeah, see you guys."
Was it just like a lot of maintenance?
Once I got in contact with all the other guys that were in on owning it, they were like, "We should do this, 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 and this to the airplane, like all these upgrades." And I was like, "Dude, I'm not just gonna fork up all this money to do all these upgrades." And that's what I realized partnerships are all about, and so I never want to do that again.
No, it's true. Honestly, it's like tough because like you're not the sole decision owner. Now you got to like consult all these other people that are going to want to do different stuff than you.
Yeah.
They might make a decision without your. Hey, by the way, you owe us $2,000.
That's exactly
Hold up.
that's exactly what it was gonna be. It was gonna just be like bottomless money pit, dude. And probably a few days after I got into that,
Yeah.
I realized that,
Did you say a few days?
or like a day, more like a day.
Not even a few days. It's like,
Because I remember you were talking about it, and like I like showed up, and you're like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to sell it." If you had the money, would you get one?
No,
No.
you wouldn't buy a plane if you had the money?
if I had the money and lots more money, maybe. I don't know, dude.
Some like fuck you money
I've
to do it.
seen
feels
people.
expensive.
It has to be f you money. It's like, oh, you have to get an engine overhaul. It's gonna cost $900,000. Like that would have to mean nothing to me in order for me to own an airplane.
Jesus.
I'm talking like a jet though,
Oh,
or
okay.
like a
Yeah.
Would you get one of those like old timey planes, the Wright brothers?
just experimental.
like a single prop. A single prop with some bicycle wheels.
Dylan, what got you into music?
Boredom, I think, my dad played guitar, so we had like a guitar laying around the house. I just had no friends. I went like it's like one day, eventually it was like 8th grade or something, I started messing with it. There was like a guitar class in junior high, and then I just took that and then just kind of ran with it, I guess.
For your housewarming party, I remember I was there, and you guys were all just jamming out. It was so fun. I loved listening to you guys.
I want to do like little tiny desk concerts or something like that.
You
there.
should.
Like, I don't really do much with music. I wish I was more into it. It's more of just like a hobby.
Around with that a little bit though, right? Don't you like?
Yeah.
Yeah,
mess
there's like
around?
some things I guess.
Yeah.
And like
Equipment.
I used
I
to want to be a rapper.
Bro, that'd be sick if you were a rapper.
SoundCloud
NF?
and everything.
Is that you? The new
Yeah.
NF?
Do you have a SoundCloud?
Yeah, I do. I'm not gonna plug it. Hey, he's on there too. He's on there.
I unfortunately am on a SoundCloud, on a
sick.
SoundCloud
Definitely not plugging
track.
that one though. Yeah, we got like one
Ice
track
has a
out.
track
there.
out too.
Shout out Little Andy Boy. Shout out Little Andy Boy.
We've all been there.
Ice has one too.
Do you?
You got a SoundCloud?
He's on a track.
I'm not. I don't know what he's talking about.
He's on a track. I'll pull it up
Yeah, you should
later.
pull it up. You should pull it up. He got suspended in high school for hopping on a different track.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
It's called I can't remember, like ROI till the day I die or some shit like that.
oh, dude, there's gonna be people out
ROI to
there.
the day. That y'all had that much city pride for yourselves.
We were on the football team or whatever, and they pulled us all into the office, and somebody leaked it, and then it started going around. We just said some offensive shit to a lot of people, and then
Canceled? Y'all got canceled?
Yeah,
They were
surprised we didn't-
canceled
should've been
for-
canceled. Should
for approximately 1 week.
Yeah, there's like a part like Japanese bitch's atomic bomb.
Oh,
No, yeah. But that's the only part that I like. That's the only part that I had part in. And
Jesus Christ.
You know, like
the principal's
clickbait
office,
this.
and they're asking me about like my involvement. Like that. I was like, well, I was only involved in this one part, and I was like, Japanese quote is atomic bomb. And then they all just it's like the entire the principal, the vice principal, both my football coaches,
no.
and they're just like staring at me, just like, first off, the bars are fucking shit.
did they say that?
Wild.
My football coach told me, one of my cool coaches told me that he was like, look, I wouldn't even been mad if it wasn't garbage. like as if it was good.
It wasn't even garbage.
This is trash.
But after the awkward silence, the principal looks at me, is like, you do know that your coach and my head coach, and you know that he's like half Japanese, right? And I was just like, I look over there, and I thought he was gonna pop, like one of those stress ball things with the faces that you squeeze. Yeah, he looked furious. But that started and basically ended my career as a rapper. So
That'd be interesting to see if you guys got into music. Did a couple of shows or?
I would love to cover some shit.
we got some covers that we can do pretty good. But there's I don't know. I feel like we're surrounded by musicians that are so much better than us. Because we got this friend Felipe. Shout out Felipe. Shout out
Imaginary Friends.
Very, very talented.
Yeah, he's really good.
They
one of our
are
friends,
really good.
Ian, he's in this band called King Kashmir down in Salt Lake, and they're really good. And just there's just a lot of artists around that are actually doing a lot more with it. So it's I feel like
It's pretty much just me and Dylan too.
Yeah.
It's we don't really have a.
Ice
I'm
hop
trying
on
to get
there.
Noah, our friend Noah, to get a bass and play, and we're trying to get Cam to get an electric drum set so we can start learning the drums so we can actually put something together. But other than that,
That'd
it's
be
just
cool.
we'd have a lack of artists to actually make full music with and everything.
Honestly, I think you guys would kill it if you guys did that. Don't sell yourselves short. You guys are pretty
Thank
good.
you. Thank
So
you.
you can give everybody something to do in winter time or something.
How did the two of you meet?
The first time we hung out was the Anderson Silva versus Conor
That was
McGregor.
was
Was that one where he snapped
no,
his
it was
leg, or
Jose Aldo and
Was it
Conor
Aldo
McGregor.
and McGregor?
Yeah, it
when
was
he
a
first
quick
did-
one. That was
Oh yeah, that was one of the
Conor McGregor's peak.
when he knocked him out in in however many seconds.
Immediately.
3 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, but high school, I think I knew of you. I think in junior high, through Twitter.
Yeah, we're on
I saw your Twitter account, and
you
I was
guys
like,
were on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, I've been on Twitter
I was like,
since
who's this
2013,
tool?
dude.
That's wild.
I know. I'll see you posting some things on Twitter, and I'm I love reading everything you post.
Not too active anymore. I feel like I just felt like I was shouting into a void, with all social media and shit.
Honestly,
That's basically what social media is. You don't need to have. I don't really care about the what is it called? The engagement.
I used to be care about it and shit like that. And I'd be
oh yeah, I
do
did.
something and be like, why aren't people liking this? 'Cause I'm funny as
No, man.
But no, eventually I was just I don't know. I check the trending on Twitter once every morning to make sure that that's where I get most of my news because it's so quick.
Oh, it's
just
so
make sure the world,
fast.
just to make sure the world hasn't ended, and then
Yeah, it's has anyone pushed the button yet? that's what I do. I just fucking check the news, and it seems like every day
no
gets
nukes, we're good.
a little scarier.
I'm always just on Twitter, just nah, man. Finding videos, funny ass videos, funny ass tweets, man. Twitter's like the best. I don't know, man.
It's the best at like giving you the content that you want.
It's the best because like I could live without Instagram and like Snapchat and pretty much everything else, right?
Snapchat makes me want to die.
Yeah, like I mean, you could literally just like do everything on Twitter.
Yeah, it's like the war zone of like content.
It's the best. It's literally the best, man.
You just like enjoying some like sports news, and then you scroll down, and then for some reason, some like terrible shit pops up on your timeline.
Some like porn pops up, bro. Some random videos where it's just like porn. I'm like, bro, what the
I don't know why, but the other day this gay porn account followed me, and
dude,
and then I got followed by like in the next 3 days I got followed by like 60 like accounts. I'd be like, oh people keep on following me, what is this? And every time I'd click on one, I'd be like, okay, they got something. I scroll down, and then eventually it's just like sucking dick, and just like people like milking themselves on camera.
Bro,
like, what the fuck is this? I mean, but it doesn't make any sense because like I didn't interact with any of that content, you know.
That's so good, man. Yeah, Twitter is just the most insane shit, man. It's the most insane.
It gives you that sort of stuff even if you're not asking for it. That's the thing,
does, bro.
Man. That's what we need, dude.
I was on there when I was like 13, though. I think
that's
like,
crazy.
I was on there.
Platforms need to give you shit that you don't want to see, you know, so that you're not just like falling into your rabbit holes.
I kind of agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like,
depends on the kind of content you give us today.
Yeah, I guess I don't need like.
I don't want to see a dude like in a diaper with a binky in, like just like walking around. But unfortunately, today, but alas, I was scrolling.
It's weird because I don't really fall into like rabbit holes on Twitter, Instagram, and like whatever everything else. Like Instagram is like
YouTube's a rabbit hole.
Like, all right, rabbit hole to like.
I hate. I like Snapchat for like group chats.
Dude.
I never like poked around on there like on.
Well, because you like click on one person, and you click on their person, then you just keep on going. It's like whatever. Dude, yeah. Twitter is nothing like that, bro. You're just chilling.
Honestly, I feel like Twitter's the one I could get rid of.
I haven't been on it for a long time, dude.
Yeah.
I deleted Twitter like a year and a half ago. I haven't even thought about it. There are other outlets. Nice. There are other outlets for me to fall into and just fill the amount of time I would have been on Twitter with.
That's your thoughts on TikTok.
That's the only reason why I haven't gotten TikTok. When it came out, everyone was hopping on. I was like,
it's insane.
You don't have it?
No, I've never had a TikTok. I was like,
you can go to like on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, wherever you go, you're gonna find TikToks anyway.
Exactly. So I was like, I already see TikToks, but I was like, I already know I'm gonna be like on this shit.
The weird thing about TikTok with me though is I know it's such a rabbit hole. Like if I start scrolling, I know that it's like a commitment. So I like never do it. I don't even get on it very much.
When I finally came around to getting it, I was like, okay, I'll see what it's all about. You know, I got like it kind of curated a little bit. Got to like get a feel for whatever I wanted. And then I was on there for like 10 minutes and then checked the clock and I'd been on there for like 4 hours. I was like, oh shit. And I deleted it right away. I was like, I cannot be.
It's so
this is like not liking.
Yeah, like when
I get on there like
my productivity just spiraled down. I was on it for hours and hours, man.
There's a lot of good content on there to find and everything like that, but then you just gotta sift through so much bullshit. And it's like, what am I doing? But honestly, it makes me feel bad about myself too, because like I want to like be more creative and like get more like content made and that sort of stuff.
Same thing too.
So it's like I like sit there like watching other people's and I'm like, oh well, I'm never gonna be like that good. I don't know. I get on there like once a week now, but people like send me a bunch of TikToks too, so I'll get on there and I have like 40 notifications or like in my inbox. I'm like, oh I can't do that, so I just close right out of it, and then it's worse the next time. So
for me personally, like TikTok's like the best app because like everything I've seen on Twitter, Instagram, like all of it just stems from TikTok. Like TikTok is where I see everything first.
Really?
Yeah, like I see everything trending on TikTok before I see it on Twitter or anything else.
What do you mean by that though? Do you mean
like almost every video like you've sent me, I've always seen it on TikTok first, or like
there's no news on TikTok though, right?
They do sometimes. It depends on like
there's people who probably report on it, like
like when Russia, Ukraine, and stuff like that. It was flooded. Like
I've seen a lot of crazy, all over TikTok. Like war videos on TikTok.
I've seen some too.
From
wild,
just like everything in like in Russia and everything like that. TikTok has like no violence, right? Like no gore.
Yeah, they're pretty like. They're pretty picky about it. It'll be up for a bit and then they'll take it down.
I think that's good.
It is good.
I don't think that we should be like watching people behead each other on social media.
100%. I completely agree. It's honestly like desensitizing you. It's bad.
Talking about just like war.
Oh, I don't know. The only like I've like ran into like beheadings on like Facebook before.
Oh yeah,
that way back in the day.
That was I don't know. It's been probably like 4 years since I've seen something like that.
For me, that was like back in the day, like fucking like when I was in junior high. That shit was like all over my feed.
Like a little kid on the internet with your first smartphone.
I was like,
like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, nah.
People should not be desensitized to that type of shit, I feel like.
They shouldn't.
I don't think war necessarily is the same because like probably good to have people understand how like how awful it is.
It is really bad.
Yeah, because then you're like voting for politicians whose policies or like the way they vote might affect warmongers, you know?
Yeah.
Or even just like the way that we view war. Because I mean, like the 70s with like the Vietnam protests and everything like that. That was mainly because in the wars before that, they didn't have TV. That was the first major war that was televised and people could see the atrocities and like how shit it was for everybody over there. So that's like why there was such a big pushback against it. You know, if there was a draft, would you?
No.
Would you go? Would you say no? You go to prison?
That.
I would try not to.
I would utilize my citizenship in Mexico.
Oh yeah. Say no, I'm Mexican. I'm not.
I'm on American citizen. I got my Mexican citizenship right here. I'm out.
I would use my asthma as a cop out. Be like, I have asthma. I can't go.
No, honestly,
it
I
depends
don't blame
though.
you because, dude, going to war would be the scariest thing in the world. You'd come back so traumatized. You'd have the worst PTSD in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd ever recover.
Oh, you probably wouldn't.
Most people don't. I'm sure.
Yeah, I definitely would.
I'm an orphan, so they can't draft me.
But whatever.
That's a bit of a blessing there. Silver lining.
I work for Base, for Hill Air Force Base. I'm a software developer, so I don't think I would even get drafted. It would just leave me as I am.
Yeah, I would hope that I'd get left the fuck alone.
There's no way with
So I am
your
civilian.
flying skills. We're gonna grab this.
I don't
guy.
think they would.
No, they definitely.
No, the whole fighter pilot
search
thing.
and rescue
Yeah,
missions
yeah,
or
it's like,
something.
hey.
They're definitely gonna swipe this dude because he can swipe.
They're
they
gonna toss
would.
this dude an F-35.
Yeah.
Say, hey, go on.
Top gun.
Oh, I don't know, dude.
I'd be the last one they choose. They're like, this guy has zero experience doing it. He's a film major. Get
We don't want you.
You want to go document for us or something?
Gosh.
No.
Yeah.
Even documenting would suck.
That's what I'm saying.
I could be the guy that plays the bugle.
You got everybody marching.
I'm not gonna lie though, like way back in the day, man, that would have got me so hype. If I had to go to war, I just really hope there would be a drummer there at least, you know. Like back in, yeah.
There's nothing that the U.S. could wage war over right now that I would like believe in or want to participate in. Like, why is the U.S. always waging war overseas? You know, is this really in our security interests?
Money.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely
Diego over there engineering software.
I know.
For the military-industrial complex.
To be honest,
Do you know what you
Is there
work on?
ethical dilemmas?
no ethical dilemmas for me personally. I work on like a simulation software, so it's like the simulation software that like the generals, like the Marines and stuff, use to like simulate like humanitarian missions, like search and rescue, like warfare and stuff like that. I think they were using it for like Ukraine, like and Russia, like trying to figure out like hypothetical scenarios, like what happens if like Russia takes this place, so on and so forth.
So they put inputs into the simulation like as they would in real life, and then see how it pan out.
It's like a big game of Risk.
Yeah,
really.
I was gonna say that's exactly what it
that's
sounds
kind
like.
of what it's like.
Sounds fun.
Honestly, I love it, bro. Like the real reason for why I love it is my coworkers, dude. Because my coworkers, they're all like our age.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're all our age, and so it's nice. It's like a really energetic vibe, and we're all just hanging out. We're all telling jokes, telling stories, and just laughing.
Not much of a dilemma there. I know this one kid, I can't remember his name, or I know his name, but I don't want to say it. But he knows that he's working on a targeting system for a missile.
I know. I come to like moral dilemmas kind of like that too, where like I feel like I understand why we have to work on that stuff, but the bad thing is like a lot of that stuff doesn't go towards like what we think it's gonna go for. Because like the reason like we do it is to put on like a show, but then we end up using it for actual destruction of people that don't need to be destroyed.
We're selling it to the highest bidder.
Listen to this guy right here.
Industrial complexes.
Yeah, it's the government giving our taxpayer money to private companies who then own whatever they create and then can sell it to whoever they want. You know, what was the Taliban called before they were the Taliban? When Reagan sold them all.
Yeah,
those
I don't
weapons.
remember. Honestly, we had no business being there.
Oh, dude, the Middle East. That's just
we
an oil war.
destabilized the Middle East like crazy. It's wild.
You know what's a fun fact too is that 80% of the world's heroin comes from Afghanistan. It's basically the breadbasket for poppy seeds in the entire world, and poppy seeds are what they
that
use
makes sense.
to make opioids.
Yeah.
After the invasion of Afghanistan and the occupation of Afghanistan, within 5 years was the beginning of the opioid epidemic in the United States. And when all these, I don't know if that's like some conspiracy bullshit, but I know that we were watching over those poppy fields and everything like that. Our military installations were all there. And
The thing with like the government is like people think we have like the most like high tech stuff, but like from what I've seen, we have like some of like the worst tech. Our computers
In the
that
US?
we work on like
Or
sucks.
just,
like the frameworks.
Yeah,
that you're working
like
with?
everything that we work on like sucks. I guess like the jets and stuff like that, that's all kind of like high tech stuff. But like the stuff that we use to work on that, awful. Like it's so slow. Like honestly, like there's so much downtime because of it.
It's probably fairly difficult to overhaul an entire, especially
It
when it
is.
comes
That's
to the
the big
Department of
thing.
Defense when you're working with like, you know, sensitive information, that sort of stuff. Our friends at the Chandler and Kaylin were always talking about that too, just
Yeah.
about how outdated everything at the IRS is. And I'd imagine there's a whole lot of bureaucratic.
You've been to the
There is.
post
That's been my
office,
biggest
dude? The
oops.
post office sucks.
Yeah.
Post office.
f***ing sad in there, dude.
I don't even think they have computers. They
is.
just got their tin boxes. Just like toss packages wherever the
They have one of those like box computers back there. Like I've actually seen it. They're using that shit, and I'm like,
oh, they actually got one of those big boxy computers.
Yeah, I was like, this is crazy.
It's got the screen that has like the
it's got like
concave.
there's no actual. I'm like, holy shit.
If you flick it hard enough, it'll explode.
Bro, like, this is crazy.
That's like my biggest thing. You like mentioned it, like the bureaucracy. I hate how slow everything is with like the government. Like you can't like push any sort of change
There's
at
no
all.
like open door policy. It's like I gotta talk to my supervisor, and he got to his supervisor, and then they're gonna send it to this guy and that guy, and then we'll send it to the
sucks.
It gets to the top dog on Friday, and they're like, it's time to go home.
Sorry, we can't afford to give you better software. We're too busy, bombing Afghanistan, and bombing Yemen. Jeez.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, man. The one thing I will say though is I do think China has better technology than us. They have like the best hackers in the world.
It kind of makes sense though, because like the way that the United States came out of the Industrial Revolution and was at the forefront of the internet revolution, we were building our tools with the newest up-to-date things. But since China was a little bit late to that party, the actual they're building their foundations with the tools of the 21st century, whereas we were building our foundations with the tools of the late 20th century.
This is why I like this guy, bro. He's got a big brain. He's got that wrinkly brain.
Got lots of
dots, man.
Lots of information just like on hand.
That's why I think some Africa's going to turn into some Wakanda shit, because they're going to be hyper developing in the way that China has and that we did. They're going to be using like 2050 technology and shit like that. And then some fucking
That'd be sick.
That'd be crazy.
Shit.
And then
They find vibranium?
and then they're the top dogs.
Yeah, and then they're top dogs.
And then we're everyone's around them.
Yeah. Everybody's worried about the U.S. versus China. They don't see Africa. They don't see them down there.
Yeah, people. It's like a graph. The U.S. is here and China's like about to surpass, and then Africa just shoots off. I feel like that would save geopolitical conflict though from happening. Because if you have just like a unanimous superpower, everybody's like, all right, we're just gonna off.
But then who are they going to start favoring more, right?
I don't even give a shit. Like, I don't understand why people are so obsessed with like oh, we're not going to be number one anymore. It's like, what do you mean number one in what? In fucking homicide rate? In fucking incarcerated people per capita? Drug overdoses? Number one in what?
GDP.
We can't lose.
That's all they're talking about.
We can't lose that number
GDP
one
per capita.
No, it's not. That is true.
And honestly, China, like we always talk about this, China has like 1.3 billion people. Like, of course they should be like stronger than us. 1.3
Their
is
GDP
bigger
should
than 0.3.
probably be higher.
Honestly, I don't even think we're number one compared to China. Like, I actually think like China's like surpassed us.
Like in the standard of living sort of way, or
maybe not in standard of living, but like in like I don't know, like military might and like technology and everything like that.
For sure, military, their navy's bigger. But if you pull it up, it says they have more ships in the U.S. I don't know if they're throwing canoes in the water and calling them ships. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know.
They got raps going, bro.
But apparently they have more ships. I would like to avoid that.
It is China. They have 537 naval assets compared to the U.S., which has 490
assets.
I know we have way more
naval
aircraft
asset.
carriers. I would
Also,
rather.
this is from the tealmango.com, so I don't know how accurate this could be.
We're just disseminating false information.
I know. I'm checking a different one right now, but it does say
you
China
just
has
found
the
that on
most.
InfoWars? Is that what it was?
Let's see. So it says China had like 777 Navy ships or something like that, and so that might be more accurate on a different website. World Population Review.
All the
stick it out. Even
geopolitical
then,
stuff
it's like-
is scary, dude.
Who gives a shit, like what's going on in other places, like who's like colonizing this or that, it's like as long as they're not like being completely unethical, as long as we're not getting invaded, who gives a shit? Nobody's ever going to invade us. It doesn't matter if we're number one in this or that. Like, it's not going to actually affect our quality of life, because if you look at like the Nordic countries like Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway, like they have a higher standard of living than us and they have better education than us, but they've never given a shit about like, oh, who's like got a bigger seat at NATO or whatever.
Well, because NATO's the U.S. They know the
Standard
U.S. will
living
protect
because they
them,
have
so they don't do anything with their military.
All
Big
of
Brother's got their back.
Yeah, we do. They have like higher standards of living just because they have free education, like better education. And I think like when you educate your population,
That's where
standard of living goes way up.
That's why we're going way downhill, because our education standards have gone down so much.
They have. Honestly, it's so crazy. Like, I feel bad for like all the students that were in COVID, like graduating like high school and stuff like that, or like elementary, like junior high. I feel so bad for them.
Have you seen the statistics lately?
It probably dipped
how like
so bad.
the average ACT score dipped like a good amount. They like barely released the statistics here like a week ago.
While you're doing that, on the count of three, everybody say their ACT score.
I'm gonna be embarrassed.
No, I guarantee you mine's the lowest. I got a 17. That's bad, isn't it? It's average.
Actually, I think 18's average, but you're
18's average.
You're right there, man.
I got a 14 the first time. First time I took it, I was like, dude, this is standardized bullshit. Fuck this. 'Cause I felt stupid. I felt dumb. Like it made me feel stupid and like inadequate.
No.
So I was just like, F this. I am inadequate, and I left.
God damn.
There's something to be said about that.
You're so smart, bro.
Yeah, no, there's something to be
I'm
said
not
about the
an
way
idiot.
that like education doesn't value different kinds of usefulness and you know that sort of stuff. I mean, like you're flying
Just like-
planes, dude. Like,
Yeah,
I can't do that.
you just follow the magenta line.
go. You can't put X and Y and solve for this or that.
I hate like how it's like, what is it, like an average between like 4 different subjects. Like obviously you're not going to be strong.
There's no
and
specialization.
that fucks with your score, you know what I mean?
And that's why there's so like trade jobs are on such a downturn too. But, like in places like like Nordic countries and everything like that. When you're 16, it's like your junior year or something like that. Like you can kind of choose to go to a trade school to finish out your education instead of
That's
going
really nice.
to. So yeah, so it's like let's say you want to be a plumber, or you want to be a carpenter or something like that. You can just go directly into that as opposed to like graduate
Go to
with
college
all
and-
this whatever.
Which honestly, like, I'm a huge proponent for that. I'll like hop into that in like 2 seconds, but I got a 29 on my ACT.
Genius.
I know.
That's why you're writing codes.
Okay.
I know.
I'm not
I think it's the
gonna-
first
I'm
time
not
I took it,
gonna
I got a
say this,
26.
You're probably gonna put me out of a job in the next like 2 decades. You're gonna write the code.
He's writing the code for it right now. He just
No,
doesn't
I
even
hope
know it.
not, man.
Fully autonomous airplanes. No
Well,
need for pilots anymore.
That is
That's
the
what you're
biggest
gonna
reason
do.
for why like Hill Air Force Base and like all the like the Air Force hires software developers is to like replace all of like the mechanical components with software, because I think they've gotten rid of like 90%, 95% of like the original hardware that like used to like be controlled by the pilot, and it's just controlled by software
That's
now.
crazy, dude.
I guess fighter jets have always been like single pilot airplanes, and
Yeah.
they're still in there. But I give my career like 20 years until
No,
I'm like not in the
automation?
cockpit
I
anymore.
don't know.
I don't know, but
Automation.
back in the
It
50s,
is
they thought we'd be
possible.
living on the moon by the 2000s.
That's true. Who knows? The world might be dust tomorrow.
Go, I'm in there.
Going back to what you said about the score going down, class of 2022, their average ACT composite score was 19.8 out of 36, and it says that for the last 30 years, that's been the lowest score.
Yeah, that's what it
For
was.
the last 30 years.
Over the last 30 years.
That's
That was-
pretty damn good. 19.
Yeah. Well, honestly, yeah, that's not as bad as I was thinking. I was thinking it'd be like in the 14s, 15s.
Wait,
But that's the worst since
It is in 30 years.
Isn't if you
and that's average.
30 years
so
old,
like
1990.
that means some motherfuckers are
that's
getting
true.
like
Yeah.
6s or something, bro.
That's right, dude. Average sucks. It should have been like
Yeah.
a median.
Yeah.
does
Then you
anybody
get
understand like that grading system though? Because if you get 18 out of 36, that's the highest score, right? If you get 18 out of 36 on a test, that's 50%. That's fail.
Fail.
What does that number actually reflect, or like what does it mean?
Yeah,
You know?
I guess it reflects like the bell curve of everybody that's taken that test. So you're like in the average
But
percent.
an
like, you
18
have the
is
same
an
average.
18 a failing grade on the ACT? What is it?
ACT? I
I
don't
don't
think
such thing as a fail. Like it's not like.
But is it
More like
a
this is where you stand in
what?
comparison.
Yeah,
to
but where do
everybody
you stand if you got a 17, 18? Like
Well, then if that you would just be barely under the rest of the, because I mean it's really only used for like college admissions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's-
I don't give a shit
colleges
about
are
that.
only
And to
going to
boost
use
egos.
that in the
boost egos for
when they're trying to decide between you and another,
applicants. I don't know.
applicants. Yeah, like
cowards.
I'm gonna-
Another word for cowards.
cowards. I got a
Another word for sheeps. Not kidding.
I got a
That was
25 on my ACT.
Holy
Or I got a
shit.
24, then a
Look at
25.
Dylan.
Oh,
man.
you're
Well, no,
smart.
it's
That's a
I'm really
good
fucking
score.
bad at science, and then I got a 33 on the reading and social studies part
Yeah.
or whatever. That's all I've ever been good at.
I was good at reading.
I got 36. I did.
Okay, scores below a 15 on the ACT are considered low at just about any four-year college,
Dang.
according to PrincetonReview.com.
15 though. You're above that.
I think you get a 9 just for writing your name.
I'm pretty sure you do.
I think,
17.
yeah, I think the lowest you can get is like 11.
I'm a fucking genius, dude.
Yeah, you are.
17?
Yeah, you are. You are a genius.
You're out here for real.
Can't use a
know.
test taken fucking 8 years
I know.
ago to judge any amount of self-worth.
Oh, not
Bullshit.
at all.
Oh, no, I don't give a fuck about it.
The big thing too about that is there's a lot of people that get like testing anxiety and they're just not good test takers whatsoever. And so ACT is not like very representative of like what a lot of people know.
Doesn't mean
their ability to learn, honestly.
Or ability to do something like a
Yeah.
physical skill. Like, there are people out there who could like take a car apart and put it back together, and they can't like,
Oh yeah.
they're like, you know, not the most literate.
but they're out here and they could do
I
that
can't,
shit.
dude. I can't do anything.
You're
I'm not a
ready to change my lights,
handyman.
man.
My family friend Rusty, though, he works on all of our cars, and you can't understand.
Oh, his
you
name's
can't
Rusty.
Understand a single word he says. Like he's so grumpy, and you have no idea what he's saying. He's missing a couple teeth. Just like the most like stereotypical, like, you know,
mechanic
working out of the garage in his backyard sort of thing. But dude, he'll fix your car like in like 10 minutes. Like,
those guys are the best. They get the job done.
Rusty, of course, his name is Rusty. Is that his actual name?
I'm not sure.
Or is that just a nickname?
I think it might be his actual name. Honestly, he was built for this.
That is a mechanic name. Gosh. Honestly, like I am a little shallow with like the ego thing too, because like I love taking like IQ tests and stuff like that and see where I'm at, even though I know it's so pointless.
Is there like a standardized IQ test that is like commonly accepted as the best one?
I don't think there is. I just Google whatever IQ test there is, and then I'm like, let me take this for the next 30 minutes.
On BuzzFeed. I know you hop on those.
Yeah.
I started taking like one of those personality tests the other day, and I took like 4 of them.
On BuzzFeed. Is
that where it was? No.
BuzzFeed is like the go-to. Like,
take this test. You know, take one to see which Harry Potter character.
That's literally what it is. It's so goddamn funny.
I took 4 of these personality tests, and each of them were like 30 to 50 questions. And every single time I got to the end, it was like, "Congratulations, you finished the test. Enter your email and pay $5 to see your results." Google kept on feeding me this bullshit. It's like, I gotta find one of these.
What, did you say your ACT score?
No, I'm not gonna say either.
Why? Why are you
kidding? I really don't care. I got a 22.
That's good.
That's good.
Why are you embarrassed?
I'm
not embarrassed. I was just like, why does it matter?
Yeah, I didn't go to college anyway, so.
There's, if I'm in a room, the chances are that my ACT score was the lowest.
I doubt it.
In any given room. Yeah, because 17 is low.
Honestly, like again, it comes down to like what Dylan said. How many people can fly a plane? Doesn't matter.
No, I know.
I was going to say, if you're in a room, the odds are that you're the best god pilot.
I'm not saying that I care about the 17 or whatever. I'm just saying that it is objectively low.
We just like
it doesn't matter.
We just want to hype you up, man.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, thank you. No, I know. I'm smart enough.
I am smart
You
enough.
are smart. Dylan said something else I like too about college and like trade schools and stuff like that. I honestly don't think we promote like technical schools and trade schools like nearly enough as we should.
You know what?
College isn't like everything that should be promoted.
You know why? Industrial complex. That's another industrial complex.
Return on investment for a college degree has remained like basically the same, even though administrative costs have gone like way up. That's a whole situation. I don't know much about it because I didn't, you know.
I also think it's stupid to go to like big state colleges like
it's like Notre Dame.
Yeah, like why would you go to
75 grand a year?
Exactly.
MIT, bro.
Yeah, why would you spend so much money to go to a college and now you're in debt almost the rest of your life, if not the rest of your life? You go to school like Weber State University and get that cheap tuition, apply for the scholarships, get your school paid for.
Like all the online schools, you can like go at your own pace. And
Western Governors University.
WGU.
Oh, that's what I have to say about higher education.
I don't know where.
There's like some big social barriers in the U.S. also.
There are.
Like almost classist ideas that are promoted in
There are.
high school and shit. They're like,
that's what
you don't want to flip burgers for the rest of life, or you don't want to do this or that for the rest of life.
You're
like
gonna
you
be a
need
plumber?
You're gonna be a plumber. Yeah, you need to go to college. You need to get a 4-year degree, and you need to like go be a banker, go be a doctor. We just don't value trade labor enough. Even
trade laborers, you know, they go to 2 years of school out of high school, and they're making 50, 60K right off the bat. Whereas these people that are getting 4-year degrees and everything like that, it's gonna be like this whole long road. You need both of them, of course, but I feel like there's like this elitism that's kind of like been propagated, where it's like college is like the goal and the degree and the the head honcho job or whatever. But it's like, look, everybody can't be head honchos. First off, everybody's like a fucking manager who's gonna actually do the work. And I feel like we have kind of a crisis in that. So I know we got so many middle managers, like so many people that their jobs are just to like look at numbers and then be like, these numbers are bad, I need to yell at the people below me. And it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Going off of that, I was like, I hate like the mentality of just because like they go to college or like got their 4-year degree, they look down on trade work. You know what I mean? They look at the people like they're just like not
service people. Like if they go to a restaurant,
exactly,
or whatever,
and they have like this weird mentality where it's like, oh, these guys are not as good as me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like
elitist kind of.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. Like, get out of here.
That's like where I also come into conflict with like the 4-year degrees and stuff like that, where I think there's value in having like the generals, because I feel like the generals exposes you to like different like perspectives and stuff like that. It's like you'll take like world music or like world religions and you'll like think about other people and how they think about things. So like you start to like empathize with other people a little bit better. And so I think there is value in having those, but if you want to like be like on a specific track, then I don't
That's
think
why I didn't go to college.
I don't think you should be exposed to it, but I think more people should be exposed to stuff like that, or even just like take like a class on ethics or something, so that you know, like I should treat everybody with respect.
You shouldn't even take a class for someone something like that, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what you think.
You don't
like,
have
take
A-words
this class,
like
you're gonna become a huge
it'll
piece of
help
shit.
you become respectful. Like, nah, you just, that's something you learn growing up, right? It's just like
That's what you hope, though. But a lot of people
Scream at the
don't.
waiter.
yeah,
No.
Oh no!
Don't yell at the waiter.
Don't scream at the waiter.
yeah, man.
Dude, speaking of that, did you have any times like at Olive Garden or at Table 25
gee.
where somebody
That's
just like berated you and your service?
No, I don't think so. I'm really good at kind of playing the posh asshole, you know, like putting my hands behind my back and this is a fine vintage.
All right, yeah. What's the craziest shit that happened to you at Olive Garden? And then what's the craziest shit that happened to you flying?
There was these 4 dudes that came in, and between the 4 of them, they ate like 86 soups, I think. Or something.
Yo, that's
'Cause it's
wild.
Unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks. You know, for unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks, it was like $9. So they would just each pay $9, and then they ate about 90 soups, and then they tipped me like $10 between all 4 of them. You know, even though I had literally spent an hour just like soup after soup after soup.
were
No
adamant
more unlimited
characters.
soup, salad, and breadsticks. You don't need unlimited soup, salad, and
You don't
breadsticks.
need unlimited anything. First off, nothing's unlimited.
Yeah, nothing's unlimited. All right.
They got you, man.
Like the rest of it, like all the bad times, kind of like blurred together because it's just like all I hear once people start like, yeah, this is cold and all this. All I hear, just like what do you want?
Fucking Goldilocks.
Yeah.
But
Fuck you.
Jake, what's the craziest shit that happened to you while you were flying, bro?
Disclaimer: anything that happened to me while I was flying that was bad was probably my fault.
tell them about the time you ripped the door fell off the plane.
I was trying to think of how to start it. Okay, I used to fly. I used to fly Beach 99. On the pilot side, there's a pilot hatch, and when you're full of cargo, that's the only way into the airplane. You have to climb in through the pilot hatch, so it just swings open, and you hop in. And there's 2. I'll show pictures of the very airplane that I destroyed. But okay, the pilot hatch had these 2 hooks in there that would come out like this, and there was 2 rods on the frame of the door that they would latch into. I took off one day out of Salt Lake. That plane was already loud as I was like, man, dude, this thing is like way louder than normal. Like, why is it so fucking loud in here? And I was like making sure my noise canceling was on my headset. It was. And then I leveled off at 10,000 feet, and I was going to Rexburg. I noticed, I was like, okay, my pilot hatch isn't fully secure. Like one of the hooks wasn't engaged. And then this is so stupid. I shouldn't have fucked with it. I should have just either gone all the way to Rexburg or landed somewhere and then fixed it. But I like unlatched it to try to like relatch it. Yeah. Like who the fuck does that? Like,
no.
Like not even Popeye could hold that closed because
the amount of pressure is insane.
The amount of force that I was going like. I slowed way down, but normally, I was cruising at like 200 knots.
Yeah.
And I slowed down to like 140, but that's still pretty fast.
Yeah.
That's a lot of force. So I was like really bracing, just holding it so tight. Because once I unlatched it, for a period of time, I was holding it like closed.
Did you like instantly feel the pull?
I was like, oh shit, it's pulling. And then it wasn't like I fully, I don't know. The J hook was just barely hanging on as I was loosening it. The hook was just like barely hanging on. At that point, I was kind of already committed to like, to try to open it, relatch it. It wasn't open yet, but I was having to hold it
already. Yeah.
And or else it was going to go. Yeah. Both arms, dude, just like leaning. And I'm like, there's no autopilot. Like I just trimmed the airplane.
Navigating with
and I'm like,
knees.
and I was like, just kind of generally watching, just making sure I wasn't descending or climbing and going in a straight line. But yeah, I finally like twisted the latch to open it, and it just fucking almost ripped my arm off, dude.
That's insane.
And it was the most ungodly loud thing I've ever heard. It was just already loud, but then I have a fucking Pratt and Whitney engine 3 feet from my ear, and it was just like fucking so loud. And then I went and landed in Ogden. I was just like,
wait, did the
I had lost my door.
so the door like was ripped off the plane, right?
Oh yeah, it's gone.
Where were you?
It went bye-bye. I think it landed somewhere near Antelope Island.
Did it actually?
I didn't. I never actually tried to go find it.
Yeah, good thing that didn't happen like over.
Someone that would have been crazy, bro.
Someone just enjoying their day.
Yeah, that was December 3rd, I think.
Did you get like in trouble for that?
Yeah,
or,
what happened?
Nah, bro, there's a pilot shortage. I didn't get in trouble.
What happens if that shit, like, what happens if that like hits a house or something.
I hope it didn't. No, I don't know.
If it did, I don't hear nothing about it.
No, I know for sure that it probably didn't because of just where I was.
Honestly, that's like a miracle your arm didn't just like whoosh, come off with.
Yeah, I mean, there was no way that like I was strong enough to hold on to it.
Yeah.
If I was like not buckled in, it's just like
What was the first thing that went through your head right when that happened?
Did you think it was gonna hit like the engines or something? F***ing destroy that plane? Or because like that would have been my first reaction. Was like, oh,
yeah.
If it hit like the propellers,
and you go straight down.
Yeah, there was not really any way because of like where the hinges were.
Yeah.
It would go up. There was no way it was gonna hit the engine because it was gone with the wind, dude.
Yeah.
Like a fart in the wind.
It might have hit the tail though.
If it hit the tail though, that wouldn't be good either. It didn't hit the
none
tail.
of it was good.
See those like things on top of the plane, the little boxes on the top.
Oh yeah, these ones.
Those one of those. That front one is a GPS antenna. It hit that, but the GPS was still working.
That's wild.
that's crazy.
I'm gonna.
Did you have to pay for damages?
Send this to Diego. No, I didn't have to pay. No, they were cool about it, but I thought my career was over that day. Like I was like, dude.
That's wild.
But no, apparently it's happened to a lot of Beech 99 pilots. I wasn't the first, and I wasn't the last. Like a month later, somebody else did it.
It's happened a lot. That's wild.
And I'm glad I wasn't like in weather or anything when it happened because I would have been like snow getting in there and like it happened to somebody else. And I think one pilot lost his headset with the pilot hatch. So he's like not talking to anybody.
He's flying blind.
Wait, in the same kind of plane too?
Yeah.
That seems like was it the exact same plane or
not the exact same tail number? It was the same type though for the same company, same fleet.
That seems like a manufacturer issue.
It is. It totally is. It's a terrible design, and because the hooks are so hard to see if they're like actually engaged
properly.
Depending on the plane, like some of them have lights that you could see if the hooks were latched, and some of them have to like look at it from certain angles. But I fucked up. That was my fault. It's a bad design, but yeah, I fucked up.
That's so crazy.
I called the chief pilot and I was like, dude, I fucked up. And I was like,
He probably appreciated that you were upfront about it.
I was like, there's.
I don't know what happened to the It was like that when I took off.
I was like, I could have like gone, just, like finished the route, and then like get back to the airplane later that day to fly back and be like, oh, the pilot hatch is gone.
You should have just not said anything to anyone, and like when they call you, been like, what? It's like, oh, I don't know.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? It was fine. Like it must have been somebody else.
There was one other. Do I just throw myself under the bus? There was one other time where I started rolling down the runway, didn't even close it at all,
And you just heard
but it just flew open. So I was like, oh, abort, take off, and then I just lashed it and took off. But it's like, yeah, those things are very problematic. You know, you need an actual door.
Convertible plane.
Yeah, I filed like what's called a NASA report too. It's like you file this safety report and it makes it so the FAA like can't come after you. You're like, I did this thing, I fucked up, nothing happened, but I like fucked up, and it like protects you.
As long as you would admit to it, the FAA.
If you actually fuck up, you know, that was like not that big of a deal.
Flying is a lot like Catholicism because as long as you admit that you did something bad, you're still solid.
You're good, dude.
Yeah.
I hope that, you know, I don't get a call like for saying all this on the podcast.
No, this is all alleged, by the way. None of this actually happened.
We don't know.
These are all hypothetical.
This is all just Microsoft Flight Simulator gameplay.
So someone you knew that happened to them, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I should have
happened. Have you ever seen like anything weird, like while you're out in the skies? Any UFOs?
Oh,
I've seen balloons.
Balloons get all the way up there.
Like blimps type balloons.
Are blimps still around?
Blimps or balloons?
Yeah, blimps. I feel like blimps fell off.
Yeah,
honestly, that'd be kind of sick to go on a blimp.
Yeah.
That. I'm out. I can't do blimp at all.
Yeah. They don't use helium like that no
You guys
more.
play Gang Beasts?
Yeah.
The blimp map?
That's right.
I love that game, dude.
Bro.
I played it for the first time with you, actually.
Yeah, for real.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At your place,
I remember that,
you were
yeah.
like playing this game, and I was like, "This looks awesome. Can I play it?"
That game is
You like
so
pick
fun,
people
dude.
up and throw them.
Yeah.
It's hella sick, dude.
It's all flopping everywhere. It's all wacky. Do you play Fallout?
I do.
Okay.
I
saw
love
that.
Fallout.
Yeah,
it's so sick.
my favorite game series. I saw that. I was like, that's a ass poster.
It's so sick to me. I just love like the concept of trying to like rebuild life after like a nuclear war.
Yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen.
I know. I hope it doesn't happen. I guess I like the concept in video games.
Yeah, the idea is
that means all the Fallout stands can help us,
burn.
right?
True,
all the Fallout stands can help us.
We gotta protect the Fallout stands. Put them in the vaults because
they'll know how to. They'll know what to do after.
Yeah, I know. If nuclear war does happen, humanity will survive.
I think it will too.
There will be pockets that thrive.
Yeah, definitely some of us. Like, a lot of us are done.
I hope that I die if it happens.
Yeah.
But
we definitely would. We live right next to a base.
Or do you think we might not?
No, I think
no chance of that.
I think we're definitely goners.
Sorry to break
We'd have to be living in like Moab to get away from everything.
All right, I'm going to Moab. What's the most boring ass place where they're not going to do anything?
Idaho? Go to like Wyoming or something?
Nebraska?
Canada, Nebraska, Kansas.
I'd go to
Kansas,
Alaska.
I guess.
Kansas.
I'd imagine like most of the U.S. because I mean, if there's a nuclear war, it's gonna be like between like basically just the U.S. and Russia. So it's like the rest of the world would probably be fine for the most part.
Oh no, dude! Do you think China might lob some nukes if we start doing that?
If we started lobbing nukes, they would. Yeah, I think they would.
I think it's gonna be like North Korea, dude. North Korea is gonna
be North Korea,
like because they seem out of pocket.
I feel like once one nuke gets launched, once you hit like 3 nukes being launched, then I think everyone would just be like, okay, fuck it, I guess it's time. I guess we're doing it. I guess we're doing
the time is now. Let's start pushing buttons.
Are we doing this? Are we really doing that? Okay.
That'd be scary. That'd be so scary.
What do you guys like? All the
I really have faith that like if it were to ever come down to that though, like because you know like no president, no crazy motherfucker, no Kim Jong-un or whatever is actually gonna be the one pressing a button.
I hope
like,
not.
It comes down to like you know a team of people that have to like go through the processes to launch a missile.
Gotta put the keys in.
From what I understand, it's like there's a lot of like layers of
compartmentalization,
safety.
Clearance levels,
and we do have some defenses like against nukes and stuff like that. Like we can shoot like a couple of nukes out of the sky, but like I think once they get into like actual orbit, we can't shoot them down anymore.
Didn't Russia come out with one like a few years ago that that goes faster than the speed of sound? It's like
hypersonic missiles. Yeah. Hypersonic means like 5 to 20 times the speed of sound. I gotta make sure the categories are right.
That would be crazy.
Hypersonic,
I don't think we're taking that out.
No, dude,
we're screwed, man.
We're
I'm taking it out.
No, I do have some hope though, like too, because like there are stories of like some Russian guy, or it might have been like some other guy, during the Cold War, where like he got like the signal on his radar that like the U.S. had launched nukes against them, and like he chose to not launch any nukes against us.
I've heard that story too. It was like an admiral or something, and they were like they were ready to push the button and everything like that, and
decided against it at the last second.
That could have been bad.
It could have been.
If he decided
if you would have launched it, and then the U.S.
I would think
they would have launched theirs.
I would hope and think that like the people who are those like layers of redundancy, I guess, like prevent nuclear war from happening.
Bureaucracy.
I would think,
that's where it does come in clutch.
I would think and hope that unless they felt that they were in immediate danger, then they wouldn't do it. Like, why would Putin use nukes right now? The homeland is not really.
There's been a lot of talk about like tactical nukes.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you just like a little one.
He said in a speech, he's like, that would give us no strategic benefit and whatnot. So he kind of diffused that.
I guess tactical nukes does make a lot more sense. I feel like those would be like a much better option for warfare versus like actual like nukes.
I don't think there's any way to use a tactical nuke. let me just tactically decimate everything within like a 50-mile radius.
I know.
That would probably be like tactically would probably be like hitting like a really fucking like nowhere city.
Yeah.
Or like any airfield, airbase, whatever. Just
some
launch a little nuke there.
Man, just start dropping SAR bombs everywhere.
Oh my God. Bro, those are so big. I watched like a YouTube video on like how big their explosions are compared to like even like the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. Like it's like 100 times bigger, bro. It's so big.
It's even bigger than that. It might be like probably times bigger than that.
I know that
like 6 of those would probably destroy the entire world.
Yeah, I think
I'm not too worried about it because I mean honestly, if it happens, it's like
it's so catastrophic that it doesn't matter.
And then all of a sudden
we're skeletons.
Skeletons, if even. Like,
then fallout happens.
I know. What would you guys do? Like if that happened, like we had a nuclear war and then we didn't die, we survived. What's your plan?
I'm following you guys.
I'm not
following the Fallout guys.
I don't have survival skills, dude. I grew up in the suburbs. I like literally wouldn't know what to do.
I would try to make it up to Canada, and that's my first thought.
That's my thought too.
Like the Juneau area.
Yeah.
But Alaska's probably fucked too. So start running like Forrest Gump, dude. Start running.
just start moseying about.
I know. I'm going straight to the mountains, and then from there, I'm trying to make my way to Alaska.
Have you guys watched the Chernobyl, the HBO series?
Yeah, I haven't.
I have watched some.
It's so
people, what happens to people to, like when radiation,
It's insane.
Like, if anything like that ever did happen, I would hope and pray, you know, whatever, that I was not one of the people like on the edge, you know,
being
like,
the blast radius, dude.
like,
that's where I
please
want to
let me
be.
just like have a bright
die.
light and then I'm done. Don't let me be like to the point where like
Suffer
I'm
for
kind
the rest of your
of
life.
Where it's like you're like it's like progressively getting worse. Yeah, hell, dude.
Bro, I was on TikTok and there's this guy called Super Snez is his name. This dude's crazy. He's like swimming through like radioactive water and shit like that, like in like Chernobyl and stuff like that. He was like swimming through the water and like he's like in like sewers, like crawling through and like doing all sorts of random stuff.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I'll have to pull up one of the videos.
Why is he
Wait,
insane?
there's that video of him like trying to go under the water, but he has like the
mask.
yeah, the mask on.
Yeah.
He's like trying to drown and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on Reddit and I was like, what the are these guys doing?
I know,
dude?
this dude's insane.
He's trying to swim up to the reactor. It's like still going, I guess.
He's
Holy
crazy.
bro.
Dude, people in Eastern Europe are built different.
They are. I know. I think they're like Russian, Ukrainian dudes.
Watching the videos from like this whole Ukraine-Russia thing, it's like I don't even know what war looks like anymore because it's,
yeah, it doesn't make
it's
any
like-
sense, dude.
yeah,
It
it's
like
like-
seems like it's like a waste of our time.
it seems like a video game, honestly. Because like
Yeah.
most of the time, it's just like video, like drones, like dropping grenades on like trucks and like whatever, you know. Like
I guess
his name
it's-
is Super Sus.
is that him right there?
It's this guy.
Wow, dude, why is he doing that?
I don't know, bro.
Why not? Why aren't you doing that? You know.
I have no idea, but yeah, dude, he's like swimming, like he's crawling through.
That
like,
dude's
all
gonna be
sorts of
dead by
stuff.
next year for real, bro.
Bro, it's crazy because like he did like the Chernobyl, like he swam in that water. I think like back in 2015.
Oh really?
Yeah,
And
he's like still going strong.
has he always looked like that?
I think he always looked like that.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that might be. It looks like,
Is that a recent picture?
it looks like he's swimming
He's
in
getting it right now, bro. That dude is going through it right now. Consequences of his actions.
Dude, could you imagine if Hitler got nukes?
Oh,
They
bro.
were close, weren't they?
They were
Yeah,
so
we stole
close.
we like stole their engineers working on that.
We did steal their engineers and we paid their engineers to.
Is that how that happened?
Work
After
for
we
us.
won in Europe, or after we won in Europe, we took their engineers and they helped us finish the bomb.
We're like, yeah, do you want to die now or just like help us?
I know.
we will turn a blind eye to
crazy,
the
dude. It's
atrocities you
like-
committed if you help us
Yeah.
build a.
I know you like designed fucking gas chambers. and shit, but you want to
WMD.
design some rockets for us too?
Yeah, like I remember like the guy I think who like finished like final design or whatever for it. He said something along the lines like I've like become like the destroyer of worlds or something.
I,
like that.
I am become death, the destroyer. It's Oppenheimer. What's his name's gonna be in that movie?
Oh yeah.
Hey Isaac, what's the Oppenheimer? Do you know what the actor's name is? Oh, he's too far away. Yeah, he's in
Murphy? Cillian Murphy?
Yeah, Cillian Murphy. Yeah, he's gonna be Oppenheimer. But I think it's Oppenheimer that said that. It's like I am become
think it
death,
is.
destroyer
Yeah.
of worlds or something like that. After he saw the bomb for the first time.
I like think about it too, but I don't even think the Germans were like the worst ones in the war. I think the Japanese were pretty bad too.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until
They were like, yeah.
mhm.
I didn't notice that like either until like a couple months ago. The reason we don't know about it though is because the Japanese government, as soon as the war ended, required everybody to destroy any like war documentation they had. It's like anything about
Oh,
prisoners
really?
of war, anything
They
like that.
scorched earth tactics, you know,
Yeah.
destroy everything.
Yeah, and they did like a really good job of like hiding everything they did.
Japan was a little bit more sadistic in the way that they tortured people and the rapes and everything like that when they were fighting with China.
Yeah, the of Nantucket or something like that. Nanking.
I feel like the
Nantucket. Yeah. Nantucket.
I feel like the East Asian theater is very like not talked about.
It's not.
How, like in Chinese schools, how do they teach World War II? You know, like what was their perspective
know.
on it?
I'm curious about that.
But
Honestly.
they were like,
They probably, because Japan invaded China, right? So
Yeah.
they probably just teach it as like this, like, you know, the aggression of Japan. But no, the Germans were like, they're like all transparent about everything. So it's just like, because they don't want it to ever happen again.
they're like we f***ed up.
Germany, any chance they get, they'll just be like, look, sorry again. about
That's
all
gotta be
that.
so awkward, like in school. Like students like asking questions.
Just
Like,
being
why
taught,
did we do this?
like,
or just
Like, my grandpa was talking about this the other day, and it's like, honey, your grandpa was.
yeah, don't listen to that
Your
guy.
grandpa.
No,
Yeah,
I feel actually the you know what's like the most upsetting thing about war though is it's like the elites from each side are just sending poor people to fight their wars and die.
Yeah.
You know,
It does make me sad. I think about that.
I feel bad for those Russian boys. You know, they're just getting fucking drafted and sent to
Yeah.
war, and
Hell,
like the
yeah.
morale is obviously low.
Oh, so low.
I don't think those boys want to be there.
I think morale would be low for literally any army right now. Like
I just
any
think the
army
whole
that's
like
drafted.
the whole like conquer and expand and conquer era of warfare is kind of over.
Oh, it definitely is.
Don't you think it's more like
I saw
Digital.
I saw this Bo Burnham interview or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you see that where
I've seen that.
We ran out of land to colonize, so we're now colonizing people.
Attention.
Like attention. Yeah. Like the way that you know, Twitter and Facebook, like all these like social media companies and everything like that.
So
and
interesting.
You keep engagement up constantly, keep growing and growing. It's like we ran out of land, but then we found this new wealth of, you know, cyberspace and everything like that. So now we're colonizing your time and your attention and everything like that.
That's crazy, huh?
I have a question on that. Do you think there should be a age limit on when you can use social media?
There are for certain social medias, yeah. Like
I think they have them, but you can just make up a fake birthday.
Right.
You know,
Never mind. I forgot about that.
I think parents should
I forgot I did that too.
I also did that.
I think parents should monitor the content.
The sites themselves too should like monitor the content. Facebook's having a huge problem with that, like with content moderation, because they were in a bunch of lawsuits over like child just like that.
Jesus Christ.
They had like Facebook's actually the largest disseminator of it. Like it's the biggest marketplace for it, because it's like just like through like instant messages and stuff like that, and it can just be like really easy to like send just like a Facebook DM thing. But they have trouble with monitoring all of it and like policing it, because they have such a high turnover rate for their moderation department, because in order to like find that, they're like, you know, find that flagged content, you have to, you know, you have to see it.
It's depressing, man.
And people are like killing themselves, like coming out of Facebook headquarters, or, you know, or like,
dude,
after working on those teams and stuff like that.
I've seen videos of people like committing suicide on Facebook, and I was like, what the fuck is this, dude?
Yeah.
It's like the most horrendous shit I've ever
Like,
seen.
I don't have Facebook either, dude. I don't have Facebook. Cleansing, dude.
Twitter, like you can use Takeoff as an example. The video of like his body and stuff like that.
Was there a video going around?
I didn't see it.
There was like a video.
like, I mean, there's some up shit on Twitter I see every now and then, right? Like every now and then.
Twitter's usually pretty good about the warning thing, where it's like show content.
Yeah, they are pretty good
like
on
masks it, and then you can hit show content if you want.
I think their AI is good on it.
Yeah, or like on Reddit, Reddit has that not safe for work thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta find something to like end on like a positive note.
The world's we're all doomed.
Besides the nukes and the terrible things on the internet.
On social media.
But there was like a skydiver, like a jump plane, and one of the pilots was like low time, just trying to build flight time or whatever. And he landed the airplane, and like it was a bad landing or whatever, and he like damaged the landing gear. And he got pissed about that. And then they took off again. And he just got out of his seat and went and jumped out of the fucking airplane.
Wait, with the parachute on?
No, he like destroyed the landing gear or something, from what I understand. He probably thought his career was over or something, and he went and just jumped out.
Was he the only one in the plane?
No, there was two of them. It's actually a great murder plan.
He was able to land the plane though?
Yeah, he landed the plane.
Oh, okay.
The captain was on there, but the captain said that, yeah, my FO, he just got up and just walked out. Just jumped out of the airplane.
Insane.
But how great of a murder plan is that? Like that's if you want to get away with murder, take somebody up in your airplane and throw them out and just say that they jumped.
It happens in planes, dude.
Oh, for sure.
There ain't nothing up there. But
that is insane, dude.
You should take me up on your plane sometime. I want to get like a squirrel suit and then just hop out of there.
I was gonna ask.
Everybody's always
Would you be cool with having me do that? Like I'm on the plane. I'm on the plane. I grab the parachute and I'm like, let's go.
I am not doing any of these things.
Wait, you can't do it even if you wanted to, right?
No. You have to have like
the cameras are off.
The
cameras are off. Don't worry about it.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
He's like, oh, they are? Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, come in there.
No. You can't just jump out of an airplane. You have to be certified. But as a joke.
Is that a challenge?
All right, let's wrap this up. Dylan, Jake, thank you guys so much for coming on this podcast. Everybody else, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to leave a like, hit subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, whatever platform you're on, leave a 5-star rating, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Super appreciated. We appreciate all the support from you guys.
We're essential, dude.
Exactly. Anything you guys want to plug real quick? SoundCloud?
No, thank you. Thank you.
I got nothing to plug.
Thank you so much for listening. My name is Diego.
My name's Dylan.
Jake.
Nice.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace. Plug my Twitter.